Ever wonder why your sketch ends up looking better than your line art? Well, it's not because you're bad at drawing, it's because you're not doing the stuff that I'm about to tell you in this video. What's up, my name's Kooleen. I make cool art tutorials, so you better subscribe. So, in today's video, we're gonna learn how to turn this ugly sketch into this beautiful, sexy creature. Before we get into the actual line art, there are some things you have to know to make it easier for you. Number 1, you should choose the right brush. When it comes to line art, a hard brush is the best tool. Also make sure to adjust the stabilizer to make it easier to control. Number 2, practice making varied lines. See, when you're doing line art, you shouldn't just trace it. You gotta show some depth into your artwork. And a way to do that is to add lines of different shapes and sizes. Some lines are chunky and some lines are thin as a stick. When you put them together, it somehow gives the effect of a more dynamic look. So we're gonna combine the chunky lines and the thin lines later when we actually make the line art later on. Okay, so this is just a bonus tip. The reason why your line art sucks is that you're directly tracing over your sketch. Now let me tell you, that's not the way to go. So if you have a really messy sketch like mine, it's really hard to actually see what this looks like without any of the messiness. I mean, it's a sketch. Sketches are meant to be messy because they come from small bursts of your imagination. That's why you shouldn't be afraid to make minor adjustments to your line art. So now that that's out of the way, let's get right into the line art process. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys in detail how exactly we're gonna draw the line art, especially on the face. Take note that all art styles are different, so of course you can deviate from this. So first things first, I'm constantly zooming in and out. This is good because when you're actually working on something, you gotta look at the bigger picture, because like I be focusing too much on one part, and when I zoom out it actually looks like crap. So always make sure to look at the whole thing from time to time. So if you want to make your line art a bit more spicy, not only can you make some parts chunky, but you can also make lines thinner by erasing them. So for the nose, it's literally just a thin line. Like there's no point in complicating it. It's literally a diagonal line. We don't want to place too much emphasis on the nose, or else his nose is gonna end up gaining all the attention rather than his eyes. Remember that chunky lines grab the viewer's attention because they create more depth. So we wouldn't want to have people staring at the nose. We would want the eyes to get more attention. As for the lips, however, there are a lot of points where the lines get messy. So like the lines get thicker at the ends and also on the cupid's bow. So again, don't draw a bunch of crusty looking lines. The lips aren't supposed to look detailed. It's all in the coloring, trust me. There's no way you're gonna achieve juicy lips by drawing those chicken lines to the skin. Also, if you draw teeth, make sure to make it as simple as possible as well. So if you've noticed throughout this video, I've been emphasizing the eyes. The thing is that everything else should be simple except for the eyes. That way, all the attention goes there. So now let's move on to the eyes. For the upper eyelashes, I'm using really thick lines. So after that, we're gonna draw thinner lines for the eyelashes. Also like, don't overdo the eyelashes. Just add enough to make him look pretty. So now that we're done with the face, we have another thing to draw line art of, which is the hair. So just for extra measures, I made sure to draw the line art of the hair onto another layer. I mean, you don't have to do this, but the hair sometimes overlaps with the eyes, so it's kind of a pain in the neck to erase. So for the hair, I'm zooming out so I can see the whole thing better. The thing is that the sketch is like super messy, but if we were to start from the top to the bottom, we can make it look like it has layers. The thing is that a lot of people draw the hair starting from the ends, and then they don't know how to work their way from the outside into the inside. But if you draw it from the inside, it's gonna look like you actually know what you're doing. So like once we've made the line art, we can go ahead and make some points a little bit thicker. Like I said, doing this increases the depth, so we should put it in areas where lines converge. As for the clothing, I'm only making straight, confident lines. Anyway, there's another tip that I want to show you guys. So we can use a line work layer. This type of layer is available to Paint Tool site, which is the program I'm using right now. If you're following along using Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop or whatever, there are alternative tools that you can use and it's gonna be the same. So for this teacup, I use the curve tool, and the cool thing is that you can adjust the pressure of the lines manually. Okay, so we went from this to this. So I just didn't record the coloring process because it wasn't really relevant, but in case you guys want to see the colored version, here it is. This is the final version. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, it would be a huge help to like and subscribe if you haven't. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay cool.